Before Terry Gilliam created cinema's most anarchic time travel adventure,
The idea that I had was the knight, the armored knight on horseback coming out of the boy's cupboard in his bedroom.
Time Bandits was dismissed as too dark for children and too childish for adults.
I think it's a sort of good film for children mainly, but it's also quite good for adults.
By distributors who couldn't understand how fantasy comedy could end with protagonists' parents exploding.
His idea is about, it's like the boy. His parents are modern people. They're obsessed with television. They watch.
The cast has finally revealed secrets that will transform your understanding of the film that proved Monty Python chaos could work in big-budget cinema.
I've got my own optical house. We've got a team of people that have worked on Brazil with me, and
while hiding devastating critique of materialism and divine indifference beneath the madcap adventure. The Python freedom that created controlled chaos. What most fans don't realize is that Time Bandits was Terry Gilliam's first solo directorial effort after co-directing Monty Python films, giving him unprecedented creative control that he used to create children's film that traumatized children.
You stick with these boys, you have a great future.
The decision to apply Python's anarchic sensibility to family adventure while maintaining complete artistic freedom created a movie that defied every convention about appropriate content for young audiences. Terry Gilliam revealed years later his deliberate rejection of family film formulas. "I wanted to make film for children that didn't condescend or lie to them about how the world works."
The kid knows it's a piece of evil, and he says, don't touch it. They don't listen to the child, and poof, they're blown up.
Adults assumed kids needed happy endings and moral lessons. I gave them time-traveling dwarfs, existential dread, and parents who literally explode. The Python philosophy was that nothing is sacred and everything can be mocked, which applied to family entertainment conventions as much as anything else. David Rappaport disclosed his understanding of the project's unique approach. "We weren't making Disney film or typical children's adventure. Terry wanted something that captured childhood's genuine confusion and terror alongside the wonder. Kids understand that adults are incompetent, that authority figures are ridiculous, and that the universe doesn't care about fairness. The film acknowledged those truths rather than hiding them. The production's freedom from studio interference allowed Gilliam to follow instincts that conventional wisdom said would fail. Handmade films gave Terry complete creative control because George Harrison loved Python and trusted Terry's vision," disclosed producers. That freedom meant no executive notes about making it safer or more commercial. The anarchic energy came from Terry being answerable to nobody except himself. Craig Warnock noted how Gilliam's direction encouraged improvisation and chaos. Terry built elaborate sets and hired brilliant actors, then let everything spin slightly out of control. The organized chaos on screen reflected actual production conditions, where Terry maintained overall vision while allowing madness in the details. The Python approach to filmmaking meant embracing accidents and happy mistakes, rather than controlling everything rigidly. The dwarfs who weren't comic relief. The time-traveling bandits weren't cute sidekicks. They were genuinely amoral criminals who happened to be little people. What David Rappaport revealed about portraying these characters shows how the film rejected patronizing dwarf portrayals to create complex thieves whose size was incidental to their selfishness, greed, and casual cruelty. The decision to cast actual little people actors in roles that weren't defined by their size was revolutionary for 1981. Most films treated little people as magical beings, comic relief, or objects of pity, disclosed David Rappaport. Terry wrote us as actual characters who happened to be small. We were thieves, cowards, and incompetents, fully realized people rather than size-based stereotypes. That respectful approach to casting little people in non-patronizing roles was unprecedented. The bandits' selfishness and greed challenged audience expectations about lovable rogues in family films. We weren't teaching Kevin moral lessons or learning to be better people, noted the ensemble. We remained greedy, bickering criminals throughout who would abandon Kevin without hesitation if it benefited us. The refusal to give us redemptive character arcs was Terry's rejection of Disney-style character development. Kenny Baker revealed that the physical comedy required genuine skill rather than relying on size-based humor. The stunts and comedy came from timing and performance rather than look at the little people jokes. Terry directed us as actors first, which meant we could create actual characters rather than just being visual gags based on our height. The Bandits' casual incompetence made them more realistic and funny than heroic fantasy characters. We were constantly screwing up, getting lost, and making terrible decisions, disclosed the cast. Real criminals are usually stupid and incompetent rather than masterminds. The honesty about their limitations made them funnier and more believable than genius thieves who never make mistakes. The historical figures who defied mythology. The film's portrayal of legendary historical figures as petty, vain, and ridiculous wasn't just comedy. It was systematic demolition of hero worship. What the cast revealed about these sequences shows how Gilliam used time travel to expose that history's great men were often small-minded fools whose reputations exceeded their actual character or intelligence. The decision to show Napoleon as childish, obsessive measuring everything revealed historical figures' absurdity. Ian Holm played Napoleon as petulant child obsessed with height and measurement, disclosed Terry Gilliam. The great military genius reduced to someone who cares more about whether a table is the right height than anything actually important. The comedy came from demolishing the mythological Napoleon to show the actual human who was probably ridiculous. John Cleese's portrayal of Robin Hood as upper-class twit who condescends to the poor, he claims to help satirized performative charity. Robin Hood wasn't heroic outlaw. He was wealthy dilettante playing at rebellion while maintaining his class privilege, revealed Cleese. The poor people he helps are patronized and humiliated by his charity. The scene exposed how the wealthy use charity to feel superior while maintaining the systems that create poverty. The historical figure's consistent awfulness taught Kevin that history's heroes were mostly frauds. The supreme being who didn't care. The revelation that the Supreme Being deliberately allowed evil to exist wasn't theological debate. It was a devastating statement about divine indifference. What Ralph Richardson revealed about playing God shows how the film's theology suggested that any creator who made this world was either incompetent or deliberately cruel. The decision to personify God as elderly businessmen annoyed by the chaos his creation generated challenged religious comfort. The Supreme Being treats existence as disappointing business venture and humans as minor annoyances, disclosed Ralph Richardson. He's not loving father or wise creator. He's middle manager frustrated that his employees keep causing problems. The theological implication that God views creation with irritation rather than love was deliberately disturbing. The Supreme Being's explanation that evil exists to make good appreciate itself revealed casualness about human suffering. God admits he allows evil and suffering because having some things be terrible makes other things seem nice by comparison, noted Terry Gilliam. That utilitarian justification for atrocity, that pain exists to make pleasure feel better, is monstrous philosophy presented as administrative necessity. The film suggested that if God exists, he's morally questionable at best. Craig Warnock disclosed that Kevin's rejection of the Supreme Being's authority represented the film's ultimate message. Kevin doesn't worship or seek approval from the Supreme Being. He's focused on the evil in his parents' kitchen rather than cosmic authority figures. The film suggested that earthly suffering matters more than divine plans. The evil genius who made perfect sense. David Warner's evil wasn't cartoonish villain. He was eloquent philosopher whose critique of creation had genuine merit. What Warner revealed about playing the character shows how the film made evil's arguments compelling while demonstrating that intelligence and eloquence don't equal moral authority. The decision to make evil intellectual and articulate rather than ranting madman created genuinely seductive antagonist. Evil's speeches about existence being mistake and creation being fundamentally flawed had logical coherence, disclosed David Warner. I played him as reasonable being who'd thought deeply about the problem of existence and concluded that reality itself was error. The philosophy was nihilistic, but not irrational. Evil's fortress of technology, representing ultimate rationality and order, contrasted with the chaotic, messy existence he wanted to replace. The geometric precision and perfect technology in Evil's domain showed what pure reason without humanity looks like, noted production designer. Evil wanted to remake creation based on logic and efficiency, eliminating the randomness and chaos that make life unpredictable. The sterile perfection was more terrifying than traditional hell imagery. Craig Warnock noted that Evil's defeat through accident rather than heroism reinforced the film's themes about randomness. Evil doesn't lose because good triumphs or because Kevin makes heroic choice. The dark ending that traumatized a generation. The film's conclusion, where Kevin's parents explode and he's left orphaned, wasn't studio-mandated shock. It was Terry Gilliam's deliberate choice to refuse happy ending.
What will people enjoy about it?
Oh, the whole thing. The ending. The ending's really... Oh.
What the cast revealed about this controversial decision shows how Gilliam believed children deserved honest acknowledgement that existence is unfair and bad things happen to protagonists. The decision to kill Kevin's parents in the final scene shocked test audiences and studio executives. Everyone expected Kevin to return home safely with lessons learned and family reconciled, disclosed producers. Terry insisted that the parents die horribly because they were awful people, and the universe doesn't guarantee happy endings. The refusal to provide satisfying closure was essential to the film's philosophy. Craig Warnock revealed his own confusion about the ending during filming. "I kept asking Terry what happens to Kevin after his parents explode. He'd say, 'That's the end. Figure it out yourself.'" The ambiguity was intentional. Kevin is left traumatized and alone, which was Terry's honest portrayal of how adventure and knowledge often create damage rather than growth. The ending's tonal shift from adventure to horror in final seconds created whiplash that divided audiences. "We go from triumphant return to sudden violent death within minutes," noted editor. The abrupt destruction of the presumed happy ending was Terry's final rejection of family film conventions. Real life doesn't transition smoothly from adventure to comfort. It just happens. The legacy that influenced dark fantasy time. Bandits' influence on subsequent dark fantasy for children exceeded its modest initial reception. What Terry Gilliam revealed about the film's lasting impact shows how it established template for refusing to patronize young audiences while proving family films could embrace complexity, ambiguity, and genuine darkness. The film's demonstration that children's entertainment could be philosophically complex influenced later dark fantasy. Pan's Labyrinth, Coraline, and other films that refused to sanitize childhood horror for young audiences followed Time Bandits' template, disclosed film scholars. Terry proved you could make family film that acknowledged childhood's genuine terrors, absent parents, incompetent adults, and universe's fundamental unfairness, without traumatizing kids beyond recovery. The anarchic approach to historical figures influenced how later films depicted legendary characters. The deflation of historical mythology through comedy became standard approach, noted screenwriters. Films stopped treating historical figures as untouchable icons after Time Bandits showed you could mock Napoleon, Robin Hood, and even God without causing civilization's collapse. George Harrison's handmade films funding model influenced how independent producers financed quirky projects major studios wouldn't touch. George's willingness to finance Terry's vision without demanding commercial compromises created template for celebrity-funded independent production, revealed industry observers. The success proved that personal passion projects could find audiences even when conventional wisdom said they'd fail. Watch the film again with appreciation for Terry Gilliam's anarchic vision, its sophisticated theological critique, and its refusal to patronize young audiences with false comfort. Notice how every historical sequence demolishes hero worship, and how the ending's darkness validates that the adventure had real, rather than imaginary consequences. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into dark fantasy that refuse to condescend to children. Hit that notification bell so you never miss our latest uploads, and let us know in the comments whether the dark ending traumatized or liberated you. See you next Wednesday.